Four off-campus housing sites, Blakely and Laurel Village, along with Nordheim and Radford Court, are the complexes being offered up to a private or nonprofit developer.
I actually found out about this through my union, that I was going to be directly affected by this decision.
And Duncan, a third-year PhD student, says rent will more than likely increase, putting her and others in a financially tough situation. She's currently paying $1,600 a month in rent, but knows that's much less than market rate.
If rent goes up to market rate, I know that I'm going to either be severely rent burdened or I'm going to have to move an hour or further away from the university, and it's just going to make my job and my role as a student here a lot harder.
University officials say this is the best way to add more university housing and get necessary upgrades for some of the apartments, some that are around 40 years old. The complexes cater mostly to grad students, those with families, and many international students like Levin Kim.
For a lot of international students like myself, UW Family Housing is sort of the most convenient place to live, and often the place that we choose to live because it is sponsored by UW. And it's cheap, and we don't have to navigate as many Seattle tenant laws.
Levin says UW's plans to bring in an outside developer to renovate and run the four complexes will make it harder for students to attend school here. They're also frustrated with the perceived lack of respect and transparency from UW.
Nothing has been proactively communicated to the tenants themselves, and they're also currently moving new tenants into these buildings, even as they're planning on demolishing them later on.
And finally, there's fear about what could happen if this plan goes over well for UW.
I could very easily see this rippling across the rest of student housing.
UW says they're only focused on the four off-site student housing complexes, and their plan is to get approval by the Board of Regents in November 2023 and start work that will take into 2024 to finish. But as you can hear, these students behind me are going to be voicing their opposition. They're doing it now, and they plan to go inside of the Board of Regents meeting tonight to do the same. Live at UW, Cornelius Hawker, King 5 News.